If Game of Thrones Season 6 is your favorite season, then you're probably thinking of one of three things. This shot of Hodor, this shot of Jon Snow, or this shot at Hogg's Rob. But what if I told you that this season is nothing short of a flaming hot dumpster fire?
Those f***ers butchered him. Now we return the favor.
We don't have the numbers.
But like, even if you discount the wildlings...
That can march and fight 2,000.
And the giant...
We have a direwolf.
What makes you think the majority of the Night's Watch was in on this?
It's not enough.
Not only did Sansa and Theon come away from this without a scratch...
Oh my God!
It's the only way to throw off the hound.
I won't make it, I'll die.
But they totally survived this as well. And when they're caught, the 6 Bolton men show no signs of having crossed the river themselves.
It's the only way to throw off the hound.
Of course, this is the moment Brienne decides to swoop in and save the day, also perfectly dry.
Maybe it's Maybelline.
It's a bloody woman.
This horse dies along with its rider despite not being hurt. Oh, and let's not forget about the hounds that tracked him down, disappearing into thin air along with the 6th guy. However, let's totally forget about Ellaria plotting treason and undermining Doran's diplomacy last season.
I hope you live a long and happy life. Speak to me that way again, and you won't.
Because in Season 6...
Your mother is a brilliant woman, you know that.
And in an effort to avenge the murders of the Martell family, she murders the remaining Martell family in front of the royal guards, who last we saw them arrested her for plotting treason against the Martell family.
Oberyn Martell butchered, and you did nothing.
He volunteered to a fight to the death.
I will be your champion.
What did you expect Doran to do?
And weak men will never rule Dorne again.
Ah, yes. Fuck the patriarchy. Oh, wait, that's right. Dorne is the only place in Westeros with female succession.
Morons.
They also killed this messenger dude, but like, why? And who would he report to anyway? They've clearly got the entire country on their side since last episode, which was, a week ago. Man, remember when regicide had consequences?
I know 3 members.
But we kind of forgot.
Doran has also allowed Trystane to be escorted by the treacherous Sand Snakes, who decide to bring a whip to a close-quarters fight. Not that they need it. And if you thought they might spring this trap at any point before they're all the way up in Blackwater Bay, f*** you. Oh, and if you thought they'd also kill Jaime f***ing Lannister while they had the chance,
F*** you.
yes, f*** you.
And everything they've taken from us, we're going to take back and more.
Okay, so catch your child's killers, who are still in the bay, maybe?
Another time, perhaps.
It's almost as if all of this could have been avoided if they just included Doran's oldest child and heir, Arianne, from the books. Hell, you can even have a full arc of her being torn between the cautious nature of her father and the hot-headed Sand Snakes, culminating in the significant minority of Dorne demanding war, and when Jaime is framed for Doran's murder, Orien is forced to declare war on the Lannisters. Anyway, more on that in Fixing Game of Thrones. In Meereen, Tyrion and Varys walk the streets completely unguarded, while the Sons of the Harpy are still very much at large.
We'll be fine.
You walk like a rich person.
You've spent a lot of time studying the way rich people walk.
Yes. Yes, he has. You know this.
As a boy, I traveled with a troupe of actors through the free cities.
I became an excellent thief.
I used to steal from people like you when I was a boy.
Prosa.
Ziha Valeria Cupegria Isa. Guluria Autopagonjaila.
I hate to break it to you, but the Marinese speak Giscari, not Valyrian. And the common tongue, apparently.
Who wrote it?
Hard to know.
But culture vulture, doesn't it make sense to protest in Daenerys' mother tongue, I hear you ask? Well...
Valeria Munuengos Nuihis Isa.
Misa means mother in Valerian.
What does it mean? She's old Giscari, Khaleesi.
I forgot.
And when they see people running for their lives, they make the only rational decision to run towards the danger.
We'll be fine.
And it's a good thing neither of you is particularly famous in this city, let alone the world.
Well, we won't be sailing to Westeros anytime soon.
And guess who else hasn't learned the local language after a whole season immersed in a new culture?
Thank you. Stupid little girl.
Davos, we have no cause to fight. Surrender by nightfall, or this ends with blood.
But why? It's not like Davos or whoever these guys are have declared themselves your enemies.
We'll discuss amongst ourselves and come back to you with an answer.
Like, what is Thorne's plan, actually? Kill the Lord Commander?
Who killed him?
Admit to it.
I did.
Get the entire Night's Watch on his side off screen, threaten Davos and whoever these guys are, and then what?
Jon Snow was going to destroy the Night's Watch. He let the wildlings through our gates.
Well, why didn't you just prevent that when you had the chance?
Open the gates. Apologies for what you're about to see.
Why is Davos willing to die for this? See, this is why having a plan at all would have helped.
Fight, you cowards!
Melisandre removes her necklace, revealing her true age, even though this wasn't a thing the last time she didn't wear it back in Season 4.
Have we caught Prince Tristane's killers?
That is a problem for another time.
What about the dragons?
They are not eating.
It's time they had their supper.
Okay, maybe bring some food then?
I'm here to help. Don't eat the help.
Now you're just risking your life for no apparent reason.
Next time I have an idea like that, punch me in the face.
What the f was even the point of this?
Dumb.
And look, it's one thing if Tyrion's relationship with the dragons becomes relevant later, but guess what?
It doesn't.
Correct.
We are searching for the men who burned the ships, but nobody saw anything.
Wait, how many people do you have working for you again?
8,000 unsullied, 2,000 second sons.
And nobody saw anything?
Nobody saw anything.
Still not dead from hypothermia, Theon suddenly decides to go.
Home.
But not the one he grew up in, the one with...
My real father
who...
lost his head at King's Landing.
But the one with the father who would...
Curse me because I've come home!
That home.
Home.
And the reason he doesn't just go to Castle Black, where at least he has a shot at survival, is because...
Jon will have me killed the moment I step through the gate.
Okay, but what if I told you that...
When you take the Black, all your crimes are forgiven.
I don't want to be forgiven.
Right, so the plan is to traverse all this crazy distance, avoid everyone and their dog trying to find and torture you, all while not freezing to death.
May I take one of the horses? For f***'s sake.
After seeing Jon in the flames and riding all the way to Castle Black to arrive the very night of his murder, Melisandre is weirdly opposed to trying to resurrect him.
Can it be done?
I met a man who came back from the dead. It shouldn't have been possible.
But it was. It could be. Now.
Not for me.
Not for you.
Not for you.
You could try.
Despite the resurrection, not once do we hear of a piece of Jon's soul being lost to oblivion.
Every time I come back, I'm a bit less. Pieces of you get chipped away.
Like, wouldn't it be cool if he forgets meaningful things like giving Needle to Arya or Sansa's face? Or if he lost some important aspect of himself, like his compassion, that eventually sees him struggle with purpose and not wanting to bloody lead anymore?
I don't want it.
And wouldn't it have been so badass if they at least hinted at the possibility that it was Shireen's life that paid for Jon's?
Only death pays for life.
Maybe throw in that the flames Melisandre saw Jon in were the flames of her pyre too. Also, isn't this exactly the kind of religious confidence boost Melisandre's been waiting for? She's just stumbled upon the life hack of a lifetime, and yet bringing people back from the frickin' dead is never attempted again. Little Sam is only 2 years old, 3 years after his birth.
The same women who murdered Myrcella have overthrown House Martell and taken control of Dorne.
Another time.
When Arya successfully defends herself blind with a staff, the waif is not pleased despite fulfilling her purpose as a teacher. With Sansa escaped, small Jon Umber waltzes into Winterfell and hands Ramsay another key to the north.
I've got a gift for you. Rickon Stark.
Asking nothing in return. Sir, this is not how the Game of Thrones is played.
This is turning into a lovely evening.
There were at least 16 Night's Watch traitors that murdered Jon Snow.
Who killed him? I did. The Bowen Marsh and Othel Yarwick and the other officers in this castle.
But it's only these three and Ollie who get executed for it.
It's not about justice.
Then Jon hands over the cloak of the Lord Commander, even though there's no such thing.
Wear it, burn it, whatever you want. You have Castle Black.
But I guess nepotism makes sense after they smashed the only urn that made democracy possible in Season 5.
My watch is ended.
Right, it's just that dramatically walking out of Castle Black would have been a lot cooler if you actually had somewhere else to be.
We shall never see his like again.
He always comes back.
After one bowl of good soup,
This is good soup.
Sansa has transformed into a confident warmonger ready to take back the North.
I want you to help me, but I'll do it myself if I have to.
Who are you and what have you done with the traumatized survivor who just escaped sexual slavery and multiple sure death experiences?
We have to fight for it.
7 hells, what was in that soup?
Fermented crab.
And Shireen, what happened to the princess?
I saw what happened. I saw Stannis' forces defeated in the field. I executed him.
And how do you feel about that?
As a clever man once told me, we make peace with our enemies, not our friends.
While Littlefinger did say that, it was to Ned Stark, not Tyrion.
We only make peace with our enemies, my lords.
He kind of forgot.
Jorah and Daario sneak through Vaes Dothrak, even though they're totally allowed to be there.
If they spot us, we're unarmed. Say we're traders heading for the Western market.
He kind of forgot.
And when they do exactly that, the Dothraki dudes assume the worst for no reason. Daario then stabs the Dothraki in the chest, even though...
If they find a body with a stab wound, the whole city will be looking for us.
The solution? Smash the head in with a rock, which, of course, removes the stab wound.
Dumb.
The bodies are even found and discussed later on. How stupid are these macho frat bro NPCs? Have they not seen enough gore between them to know the difference between... Ugh. And when they run into Daenerys, she spontaneously comes up with a plan that was missing precisely 2 people.
You're going to help me.
Ah, it's alright. This girl wasn't actually introduced to do anything or ever be mentioned again. At Pike, Theon teleports in because...
Where else could I go?
Oh, I don't know.
Join the Night's Watch. Once a man has taken the black, all his past crimes are forgiven.
And I hear they make a banging soup. But more importantly, it's not half a freezing continent away full of people hunting you.
His father's dead. Ramsay killed him. And now he has Rickon.
We don't know that.
Yes, we do.
No, you don't. Ramsay loves playing with people. I feel like you know this.
He plays with people.
See?
It's not like you would know. You're only married to one.
He kind of forgot.
And when Daenerys knocks over the lamps, the fire spreads unnaturally fast and in precisely the direction she needs it to. Of course, the only 2 people guarding the halls were killed without anyone noticing. And okay, Dany is apparently fireproof in the show, but this literal superpower is way underexploited for what it is. And okay, even if Dany is fireproof, you can't tell me there's enough oxygen in there for a human to survive. And okay, even if Dany doesn't need oxygen to live, why isn't anyone doing anything about this sacred house with all their leaders burning down? How many Blood Riders won't now have to kill themselves to follow their Khal into the afterlife? And shouldn't Master Planny Dany be worried they'll seek revenge and kill her? Or am I to assume that Dany kind of forgot about that and we're officially abandoning Dothraki culture already in Season 6?
It's the end of the Dothraki, essentially.
Remember Littlefinger meeting with Robin Arryn in Runestone last episode? Well, now he's teleported into Molestown to meet with Sansa.
I rode north with the Knights of the Vale. They're encamped at Moat Cailin as we speak.
Wait, the 2,000 Knights of the Vale traveling unnoticed across in this tiny Bolton-controlled all right, okay. Oh, and don't forget to keep this meeting secret from Jon. It's not like Baelish is an ally of your enemies or that last time you met, he sold you into sexual slavery or anything.
Did you know about Ramsay?
My sources are well placed at Winterfell. I've heard very little about you. Fight every battle, everywhere, always, in your mind. I've become quite fond of Lady Sansa during our travels together. Everyone is your enemy. Everyone is your friend.
I'll never hurt her. You have my word.
Every possible series of events is happening. All at once.
What do you think he did to me?
He beat you, and nothing will surprise you. I underestimated a stranger.
You're an idiot.
And can you guess what Sansa asks for with the Protector of the Vale on his knees before her?
I'm so sorry. Whatever you ask that is in my power, I will do.
Go back to Moat Cailin. My brother and I will take back the North on our own.
I'm a bit confused.
Why would she have sent you away?
Oh, wait.
I'm stupid.
Brendan, the Blackfish, has gathered what remains of the Tully forces and retaken River Run.
What?
The Blackfish has gathered what remains...
I heard you the first time.
How are there any Tully forces left to speak of after the Red Wedding?
The Tullys mocked me for years. Where are they now?
Retaken River Run.
That's impossible.
The play, starring Lady Crane, is performed in flawless common tongue instead of Braavosi. And, okay, it's about events taking place in Westeros, but the audience is still Braavosi. How many times have I got to say it?
This is
Bravos.
You must learn
Learn what?
everything.
You made the White Walkers.
Only Bran receiving this seemingly pivotal piece of information never becomes part of figuring out how to defeat them. In the end, it's the Suicide Squad who figures it out independently in Season 7.
Killed him. He turned them all.
We kind of forgot.
We've never made our mark upon the world.
The Iron Men of old enslaved the Riverlands to raise the mightiest fortress Westeros had ever seen.
Then Euron rocks up like he didn't just kill his king and kin, and admits to having killed the king. You know, his kin.
Threw him right over a rope bridge and watched him fall.
And how do you feel about that?
While the taboo of kinslaying is not as established in the show as in the books, it's still a big deal.
Would you speak a final word?
Kill me and be cursed.
And what? You'll kill your own father in the privy? No.
I apologize to you all for not killing him years ago.
Why is no one having a problem with this? You followed this man into war twice. Even Book Euron, in his Lovecraftian evilness, may have used someone else to kill his brother, precisely to avoid having committed the sin of kinslaying.
Build me 1,000 ships, and I will give you this world.
Sorry, I didn't mean to doubt you. It's just...
With what army does she plan on
Building 1,000 ships.
And who is going to sail them? There are no other houses represented apart from the Greyjoys. Who even are you people?
We are Ironborn.
I'm going to build that fleet and give it to Daenerys Targaryen,
We are Ironborn. We take what is ours.
along with my big
Only that never happens.
We kind of forgot.
And instead, he announces his commitment to more kinslaying.
Where are my niece and nephew? Let's go murder them.
In their greatest PR stunt yet, Tyrion and Varys make an alliance with the Red Priests of Meereen. But instead of graciously accepting her assistance, for which she asks nothing in return, Varys starts antagonizing her to no apparent benefit.
I suppose it's hard for a fanatic to admit a mistake. You're always right. Everything is the Lord's will.
And yes,
I have hated magic and all those who practice it.
but this is a man long established as someone who puts his personal grievances aside to accomplish his long-term goals.
When you look at me, do you see a hero?
Which means, if one of his little birds, well, not just one in this case, and not so little, the point is, it makes no sense to antagonize her, so.
Shut the f up.
I will summon my most eloquent priests.
And she walks out of there, never to be seen or heard of again.
That's a shame.
Shame!
Bran's spirit is leaving footprints in the snow. And when the big bad blue touches him, he invents a name for him, as if anyone will understand who it refers to.
He saw me, the Night King.
But he can't get in.
He can now. His mark is on you.
Okay, but if you knew that was a possibility, why wasn't that part of the three-eyed curriculum? The fate of the world is now up in the air because all you ever do is tease and tease, but you never share what's really important, you informationally unavailable man-child.
You must leave, all of you.
But instead of actually letting them go, he takes Bran into another pointless vision.
The time has come for you to become me.
Now, it would have been one thing if the Three-Eyed Raven had, actually taught Bran something here, or taken him back to episode 1 to make the sound that alerts Cersei and Jaime to throw him out the window and set him on this epic quest to find the secrets of the world and help save it. Or better, if the Three-Eyed Raven turned out to be a malignant hive mind whose purpose isn't saving the world at all, but simply self-preservation, never intending to let Bran leave.
The time has come for me to become you.
But it's neither of those things. He's just wasting time until the bad guys show up.
To take Winterfell, we need more men.
Jeez, if only the continent's 2,000 finest knights were at your fingertips.
The Knights of the Vale are encamped at Cael as we speak.
My uncle, the Blackfish.
Who is not your uncle, by the way.
My uncle.
Your great uncle, Brendan.
Has retaken River Run.
How'd you know that?
Ramsay received a raven before I escaped Winterfell.
But why?
Chaos is a ladder.
And when Brienne asks why she lied, They don't even bother providing a reason. They just cut to the next scene as if the context is strong enough to imply the answer.
Terrible writing.
It's not even a matter of Stockholm Syndrome. Sansa made it very clear how she feels about Baelish.
I don't believe you anymore. I don't need you anymore. You're my enemy, idiot.
Next, Brienne has to go and recruit the Blackfish personally instead of sending a Raven because...
I can't risk Ramsay intercepting it.
Right, it's not like the Boltons have ever intercepted a rider before.
It has to be you.
You sound like a bloody woman.
Shall we close the gate, Lord Commander?
I'm not the Lord Commander. Yeah, close the bloody gate.
The White Walkers show up, and the three-eyed man-child still hasn't let them escape, even though they can hear Mira shouting from inside the vision.
We're all gonna die! Listen to your friend, Brandon.
You are the one in control. Why don't you wake him up?
The time has come.
Mira even drags Bran away from the weirwood roots, which now doesn't wake him up, even though this cause and effect has been well established.
Leave me. F*** off.
Summerleaf and Hodor die protecting their escape, which wouldn't have been necessary if they'd just been allowed to leave when they were told to.
You must leave.
Anyway, there's no getting away from this. Clearly moving too slowly. Up, saved by the credits. Good for you. Alright, we're back, and Bran and Mira have somehow made it super far without the Whites catching up despite being right behind them just moments ago. But it's okay because Deus Ex Vengeance spawns right on top of them to take out a handful of Whites, even though there were like hundreds of them last time we checked.
Three-eyed Raven sent for me.
You are the three-eyed Raven now.
Who are you? Uncle Benjen.
What is the meaning of this?
I'm the three-eyed Raven.
Ugh. And how is Benjen alive anyway?
Is he dead yet?
The same way they made the walkers in the first place.
A shard of dragonglass plunged into your heart.
Okay, but then why isn't you a White Walker?
Tell me.
You saw it yourself.
What? How could you know about Bran having that particular vision?
I'm the three-eyed Raven.
On the way from Castle Black to Old Town, Sam and Gilly take a pit stop at Horn Hill.
Oh.
Right, and as a brother of the Night's Watch, Sam's plan is to leave his wildling girlfriend and bastard son there.
The thing is, my father doesn't like wildlings.
For years while studying at the Citadel, an institution that, just like the Night's Watch, doubles down on celibacy.
A singularly bad idea.
My father made me renounce my title and threatened to kill me if I didn't. If he thinks that little Sam's his grandchild, he'll take you in.
I shall take no wife, father no children.
You admit to breaking your vows, then? The law is the law. The boy must die.
A few moments later.
You're a wildling.
Oh, idiot.
Killed a White Walker. I saw it with my own eyes. He drove a dagger into the walker's heart.
Kind of forgot.
I thought the Night's Watch might make a man of you. You managed to stay soft and fat.
Oh yeah, how did Sam manage to stay fat all these years? Then Sam steals the family Valyrian steel sword.
It's called Heartsbane. Been in our family for 500 years.
Won't he come for it?
He can bloody well try.
You're not bringing this up ever again, are you?
Never.
Back in Westeros, sorry.
Bravo.
The waif spies without disguise as Arya blunders her second chance with the Faceless Men.
Shame. The girl had many gifts.
I mean, did she though? She never learned bravosi or deception or the first thing about accents, anatomy, linguistics, healing, flaying, swordplay, cooking, counting, sailing, flirting, dueling, tracking, singing, swimming, japing, smithing, dancing, or even pickpocketing. Just to name a few.
God's your doll.
Oh, and it turns out the waif has been aching to kill Arya all along.
You promised me.
But doesn't having such desires, or any at all, go strictly against what the Faceless Men are all about?
If a girl desires,
A girl has no desires.
don't let her suffer.
Bloody fanatics.
After having shown up to intimidate the High Sparrow, Jaime is dismissed from the Kingsguard for attacking the Faith.
When you attack the faith, you attack the crown.
Only he didn't attack the Faith, as you'll recall from being right there when it didn't happen. And what about the Tyrells who marched on the Sept together with Jaime, I hear you ask? Well...
We kind of forgot about the events that just took place.
You have served your house and your king faithfully for many years, and you will continue to do so.
All right, so now what?
You will leave King's Landing to assume your rightful place at Casterly Rock.
Where you belong. My father wanted you.
Nah, Casterly Rock who? Is that place still a thing? Riverrun is where it's at in season 6, mate.
I suppose it makes sense.
I'm being sent to deal with the Blackfish. Apparently Walter Frey can't manage it on his own.
We've got 10 times as many men as the damn Blackfish.
Take that stupid little castle back because it's ours and because you can.
As Daenerys writes back to Meereen, she suddenly stops to look at absolutely nothing.
Everything all right?
Wait here. I'm sure you'll make a point eventually.
Point being that she magically knows that Drogon is lurking beyond the hills.
How did you acquire this magical power?
Hey, come on, this girl doesn't even need oxygen to live. Of course she magically knows where her dragon is. And he has grown exponentially large since last we saw him, which is less than a season ago. Perhaps it got so big from eating that horse she rode in on. Or maybe the horse went west to meet Harry Strickland, ship off to KL, meet Arya, and ride off into the sunset.
You are a horse!
Okay, but aren't you straight up shitting all over their culture at this point?
Here they only honor strength.
Right, but doesn't this kind of cancel out the honor of the position? You know, when everyone's a blood rider?
No one will be.
That's fair.
Right. So why doesn't anyone in this highly confrontative culture have a problem with this, now or ever? In the north, Castle Black with its incredible soup or even Molestown weren't good enough for the wildlings, and Tormund independently invents the same exact name for the Big Bad Blue as Bran did just 2 episodes ago.
All of you would be meat in the Night King's army.
How could he know?
On Bear Island, no one bats an eye as the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch plots to conquer the north.
The penalty for desertion is death. Law is law, milady.
And while Jon was technically killed, Lyanna Mormont couldn't possibly know that.
I think we've had enough small talk.
Jon also doesn't offer her Longclaw in good faith, though later in Season 7 he gives it to Jorah because...
It's been in your family for centuries. It's not right for me to have it.
Bear in mind that Jorah was disowned and doesn't have any children to pass it on to.
It was meant for my son, Jorah. He brought dishonor to our house, but he had the grace to leave the sword before he fled from Westeros.
And the divided North won't stand a chance against the Night King.
Sorry? Who?
The Night King!
At Deepwood Motte, no one bats an eye as the Lord Commander of the Night's Watch plots to conquer the north.
Jon's a deserter.
I received you out of respect for your father. Now I would like you to leave.
Then Sansa decides that maybe the Knights of the Vale could be useful after all, and to take back what she said to Littlefinger in episode 5.
I don't believe you anymore. I don't need you anymore. You're an idiot.
So she sends him a letter.
Can't risk Ramsay intercepting it.
To Castle Stronghold? Yeah, where is this guy currently?
Go back to McCain.
Well, that was months ago, so unless you mean to tell me he and the 2,000 Knights of the Vale are still squatting at Moat...
There's no time for any of this.
And of course she doesn't tell Jon about any of this. It's not like he'd want to know about potentially adding 2,000 mounted knights to their cost when they already have 62 more months.
Every man from Bear Island fights for the strength of 10 mainlanders.
Now listen to me. I need you. The real Theon Greyjoy, not this rat shit pretender.
Only the Theon you knew from before was... How can I put this?
A dumb who killed the only 2 Starks in Winterfell. You are weak, and you're stupid.
Exactly. Why do you need this guy again?
If you're staying, Theon, I need you. We're gonna sail to Meereen. We're gonna make a pact with this Dragon Queen.
You didn't answer the question.
The highlight of the season, and perhaps the show, just kidding, comes as Arya does what anyone being hunted by an order of face-shifting assassins would do, and strolls around not giving 2 wet shits about being hunted by face-shifting assassins, which, of course, leads to her getting fatally stabbed by an assassin. But it's all good. I mean, hey, getting stabbed in the guts never killed nobody.
Murdered by a pig.
So she fights off the assailant, somersaults into the dirty canal, doesn't drown or bleed out, and gets away safely.
To be fair, the writing's no good.
The waif doesn't even stop to confirm the kill. Or maybe that makes perfect sense, seeing as getting murdered usually results in death. But not for Arya. See, in between episodes, while bleeding out, she's come up with a plan to sneak into the theater, get found by Lady Crane, and only Crane, go back to hers, also in secret, have an ice-cold milk of the poppy, and wait for this all to blow over. After seeing the positive, albeit completely inconsequential effects of the deal with Kinvara, Varys criticizes Tyrion because...
You made a pact with fanatics.
I did, and it worked. Politics is the art of compromise.
You have your father's instincts for politics. I know who you are. You've helped the Sons of the Harpy.
You made a pact with fanatics.
I can't go off on a secret mission in the company of the most famous dwarf in the city.
You've been walking next to Tyrion this whole time, but yeah, let's keep it hush just in case someone's...
The most famous dwarf in the world.
Over at the Red Keep, the Sparrows have come to defy the king's orders and unhouse arrest Cersei so the High Sparrow can speak with her.
Order your man to step aside or there will be violence.
As well as attempting to murder her royal bodyguard in the king's own home.
Choose violence.
I'll rip your head off and shit down your neck. Damn, I love this job.
Obviously, she doesn't bother to bring this up with Tommen. It's not like an attack on the king's own family would be the perfect wedge to drive in between him and the High Sparrow or anything.
When you attack the crown, you attack the crown.
Can't argue with his logic.
Remember how they couldn't send a raven with their plans to retake Winterfell because their enemies might find out?
I can't risk Ramsay intercepting it. It has to be you.
Well...
Lady Sansa desires to take her ancestral seat back from the Boltons.
Treason!
How could you be so stupid?
My sister wants Sansa dead. Girl's still a suspect in Joffrey's murder.
Sansa helped murder my son.
But I have found Sansa Stark living at Winterfell.
If I told you to find that murderous little bitch and bring me her head, would you do it? I would burn cities to the ground.
But despite this now being more viable than ever, at no point does Cersei make any plans to apprehend Sansa, like, say...
Give Bronn the largest bag of gold anyone has ever seen, and have him gather the best killers he knows.
Which is exactly what she does later in Season 8.
And if you attack the castle, honor compels me to fight for Sansa's kin. I don't serve the Starks.
Of course it does.
He kind of forgot.
Oh, and remember how Jaime gave Brienne the Valyrian steel sword Oathkeeper to keep the Stark girls safe?
You gave it to me for a purpose. I have achieved that purpose.
I mean, did you though?
Return to Stark to Mother.
A few moments later.
He sent me to find Sansa. He gave me this sword to protect her. I have achieved that purpose. And I will continue to do until the day I die.
I'm a bit confused.
Anyway, Jaime makes a deal with Edmure for Riverrun and strolls headfirst into what could well be a death trap.
There's a certain safety in death, wouldn't you say?
Don't die for pride when you can fight for your blood.
You'll serve Sansa far better than I ever could.
Are the two mutually exclusive in your experience?
Oh boy, here I go killing again.
I guess it's been a few days as Arya wakes up, which is insane in and of itself, to Lady Crane being murdered by the waif, who again removes her disguise for no reason.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Arya, who really ought to be dead or dying from numerous infections from the literal shitwater, does parkour and runs away. The Wafernator, of course, doesn't put the face back on and causes quite the stir, chasing Arya through the streets, which I suppose could have been avoided if she was, I don't know, a trained assassin or something. Arya, on the other hand, did block a stick once and is now a fully fledged, unsurmountable ninja and kills the waif off screen.
Fuck you.
And instead of just getting out of Bravos, she goes back to the House of Black and White just to say,
I'm going home.
Oh.
But why? That doesn't make sense.
Finally, a girl is no one.
Bro, come on, she blew her second chance and everything.
There will not be a third.
You cannot be approving of this!
Do something!
Do we have a plan?
I will crucify the masters. I'm not going to stop the wheel. Kill every last one of their soldiers. On and on it spins, crushing those on the ground, and return their cities to the dirt. I'm going to break the wheel. That is my plan. You don't approve.
Your change, Khaleesi.
It's just that nothing really happened to you during your time away to warrant you going from breaker of chains and wheels, for that matter, to yet another despot. No low point, no profound trauma like in Season 1. Just victory after victory, you know?
This is entirely different.
It could have been if those NPC frat bros had done any of the things they said they would, or if the warlocks of Karth had come back with a vengeance or something to break you down.
I'd like to suggest an alternate approach.
Okay, fine, but only as long as it's not letting the Masters think they have the upper hand, only for Drogon, who's been invisible since he got back, to show up right on cue and shock their socks off. And don't tell me, the other dragons are gonna blast their way through the pyramid and come back tamer than ever after years of imprisonment and neglect, aren't they?
I suppose.
All grown up despite their limited living space, and perfectly on cue.
Well?
Of course.
Stupidity, and stupidity.
After meeting with Ramsay, Jon stupidly assumes the Boltons will come out and meet them in the field, despite having the benefit of a flipping castle.
If he was smart, he'd stay inside the walls of Winterfell and wait us out.
That's not his way.
I don't know you, sir.
How well do you know the North, Sir Davos?
Precious little, my lady.
But you're an expert on Ramsay Bolton now. Got it. Gods, if only someone in the room had some insight.
It's not his men that worry me. It's his horses.
We're digging trenches all along our flanks. They won't be able to hit us the way that Stannis hit you.
You hear that, lads? You'll be digging trenches in the frozen ground all night.
Get up, you lazy sons of a... Outside, now!
Did it ever once occur to you that I might have some insight?
What should I do differently?
I don't know. I don't know anything about battles.
Try again.
Just don't do what he wants you to do.
That's good advice. Try again.
If you had asked for my advice earlier, I would have told you not to attack Winterfell. And now he has Rickon. We have to go back to Winterfell and save them both. We'll never get him back. Winterfell is our home. We have to fight for it. I know how he likes to hurt people. As long as he lives, he won't live long. We'll take it back from them. He plays with people. You are the son of the last true Warden of the North. Listen to me, please. If we don't take back the North, we'll never be safe. He wants you to make a mistake. I want you to help me, but I'll do it myself if I have to. Just don't do what he wants you to do. This is good soup.
I'll protect you, I promise.
No one can protect me. He's my brother. He'll keep me safe. No one can protect anyone. I trust him.
He kind of forgot.
My lady, any advice?
Don't lose.
That's good advice. If I fall, don't bring me back.
I'll have to try. I will do as Jon Snow commands.
Ordering you not to bring me back.
I am not your servant.
You serve Jon Snow now.
He's the prince that was promised.
He kind of forgot.
Yara and Theon have sailed into Meereen from the far side of Westeros in record time, and Tyrion recalls the last time they met.
Last time we saw each other was at Winterfell, yes?
Yes.
You were making jokes about my height, I seem to recall.
No. In fact, you were the bully that time, I seem to recall.
Your loyalty to your captors is touching. Tell me, how do you think Balon Greyjoy would feel if he could see his only surviving son has turned lackey?
Careful, imp.
I've offended you.
He kind of forgot.
Everyone who makes a joke about a dwarf's height thinks he's the only person ever to make a joke about a dwarf's height. Because you have no cock.
At least your balls won't freeze off.
If I lost my cock, I'd drink all the time.
Because I have balls, and you don't.
And like, instead of making shit up to make Theon look bad, why not bring up his actual betrayal of the Starks, which you've known about since season 2?
I have many little birds in the north, my lord, but I haven't heard their song since Theon Greyjoy captured Winterfell.
You might want to tell Daenerys about that before entering negotiations of an alliance and support his claim to the Iron Islands.
Not my claim. Hers.
Has the Iron Islands ever had a queen before?
No more than Westeros.
Reasonable.
While her official reign is disputed, it is known that Rhaenyra Targaryen, the half-year queen, was the de facto queen of Westeros before her reign was erased from the history books.
It is known.
You've brought us 100 ships from the Iron Fleet.
Your ancestors defeated ours and took the Iron Islands. We ask you to give them back.
We are ironborn. We take what is ours.
She's not demanding, she's asking.
I pay the iron price. I will take my crown.
No more reaving, roving, raiding, or raping.
She is a reaver. She is a warrior. She is ironborn. That is who we have always been.
No more.
She knows who she is.
No more.
Good luck explaining that to the other 99 captains.
He kind of forgot.
The Battle of the Bastards begins. Wun doesn't have a weapon, and the Boltons are defending from outside the castle walls instead of inside.
We have Winterfell. They don't have the men for a siege. All we have to do is wait.
Rickon makes no attempt whatsoever to alter his trajectory while being shot at. Not that it matters, as Ramsay snipes him right on cue, but doesn't even try to get Jon, who stops at the same spot. Jon then abandons all tactical knowledge to make the single worst decision possible, charging the enemies alone because he's upset, even though his tactical awareness is quite established.
The least useless person here.
Trained by master-at-arms like your Sir Roderick.
A pincer move. They won't be able to hit us from the sides.
The Stark army then fully sprints for hundreds of meters uphill before clashing with the enemy, exhausting themselves needlessly. And after taking out Jon's horse with a volley of arrows, instead of simply ordering another one to finish the job, Ramsay sends the cavalry forth instead, only to then order more arrows loose, killing his own men, which no one in his ranks has a problem with. Then there's this, and this, another exhausting sprint.
Who owns the North?
Strange war cry for a house who immediately subjected themselves to the next Wardens of the North and handed them the key to the North, asking nothing in return like a good little lapdog.
Who owns the North?
There goes your pet.
Remember 10 minutes ago when John said,
We're digging trenches all along our flanks. They won't be able to hit us from the sides.
Well, no trenches were dug and the Boltons hit them from literally every side. But the good news is that despite not having received a reply, Sansa knows precisely when and where to find Littlefinger, who has come with the Riders of Rohan, the Knights of the Vale, to swoop in and save the Deus Ex Machina. What's John gonna say when he finds out you knew they were coming?
If you didn't know, you're an idiot. If you did know, you're my enemy.
Somehow, Wun, John, and Tormund still have the legs to run at full speed all the way to Winterfell to fight some more. Ramsay then turns invisible, but only until he sniped Wun in the eye.
How did you get here?
Starks stand idly by as Ramsay takes shots at Jon, who somehow still has the energy to take out Ramsay if strangely uncontested, deliver 21 full force blows to Ramsay's face and still leave it recognizable.
We're gonna bury my brother in the crypt, next to my father.
But they never do.
He kind of forgot.
Sansa then magically makes the hounds approach right on cue.
My hounds will never harm me.
You haven't fed them in 7 days. You said it yourself.
But how would you know about that when you left the conversation before that came up?
You're going to die tomorrow, Lord Bolton.
My dogs are desperate to meet you. I haven't fed them for 7 days.
And if you listen closely, you'll also hear that the hounds are equipped with knives as they tear into Ramsay. Hey, Sansa, where you going? Burying Rickon?
Who are you?
Ceremony for the fallen, perhaps?
No.
Ask Melisandre to resurrect people now that that's an option?
I don't care.
All right, just checking. Lots of people's favorite season finale starts with nobody wondering where Septa Unella is, and this lovely exchange.
I ask you to dedicate your life to the 7 gods.
You gave me your word.
Once the trial is concluded, Brother Loras is free to leave. Dedicate your life.
We're reminded of Grandmaster Pycelle's secret agility, but moments later, pitted against a bunch of malnourished kids, he goes down like a sack of
potatoes. It appears the Queen Mother doesn't wish to attend her own trial. Show her the way.
But what makes you think that'll work this time?
I choose violence.
Surely you must have something more potent in store for this highly expected no-show than sending...
Lancel. Gods, what a stupid name.
Cersei understands the consequences of her absence, and she is absent anyway. We all need to leave now!
Marjorie even breaks her pious charade, which is quite convincing and totally in character, but the High Sparrow sighing incredulously simply is not. Lancel then immediately defies his orders to fetch Cersei in favor of being distracted by some kid.
Look at this idiot. One ball and no brains.
He also starts threatening the kid before knowing what he's up to.
The longer you wait, the worse it'll be for you.
Have you tried spinning out of the way and into a dirty canal? And how could Cersei and Qyburn have planned for all of this? Not to mention trusting a child to carry it out to meticulous perfection with absolutely no margin for error. Jaqen? Is that you?
A man pays his debts.
Moreover...
Why is it happening at all?
It's one thing for Cersei to capture and torture Unella, but why does Lancel need to see the wildfire before it goes off? And what was the point of building up the High Sparrow and his political mastermind and mystery ambitions in the first place? And having Marjorie plot to undermine him if they're just gonna go boom. And with that, these characters simply cease to exist, along with the factions they represent, as well as the small folk who were supposedly fed up with the establishment.
You are the few. We are the many.
He kind of forgot.
Unlike Ned Stark, their actions did not set anything lasting in motion before their departure, the only exception being Tommen vacating the throne, also that Cersei can snap it up completely uncontested and without repercussions. There should be absolute scenes all over town and the country. The leaders of the majority religion were just murdered. The wardens of the Reach and the West, kinslaying, by the way, the Grand Maester and other lords and ladies. But everyone just accepts it and returns to business as usual, whatever that is, without all these important people.
You talk about war as if you're an expert, but the one battle I remember you fighting, you were captured by Robb Stark.
Quite the selective memory there, seeing as Jaime won every other battle he ever fought in. And successfully prevented a battle while retaking River, on which you lost to a handful of Tullys.
Go on, mock me, boy. You think I mind?
Sam, Gilly, and their 2-year-old, 3-year-old get dropped off at this very strange location southeast of Old Town.
Idiot.
Remember how Sam was responsible for the Ravens at Castle Black?
I hope your penmanship is better than your swordplay.
Well, it turns out he never bothered to inform the Citadel of the Night's Watch choosing a new Lord Commander.
According to our records, Gion Mormont is Lord Commander.
You must not have been very good at your job.
Or the death of Maester Aemon.
He died.
This is irregular.
Kind of forgot.
Remember when Davos risked everything to kill Melisandre for being generally evil?
This woman is evil! She's a mother of demons!
Well, now she admits to having killed Shireen.
I loved that girl like she was my own.
We burned her at the stake.
And how do you feel about that?
If you ever come back this way, I will execute you myself.
I hope you'll excuse me for saying it, but...
What the f***?
You've seen the Night King, Jon Snow.
Yeah, but how do you know to call him that, though?
Who?
The Night King!
We're standing here because of you. The battle was lost until the Knights of the Vale rode in.
Right, but how many are not standing here because she didn't tell you beforehand?
They came because of you.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
Then it turns out that Varys' diplomatic mission was to travel all this way just to be summoned like a waiter by a murderous traitor.
Fire and blood.
Only to teleport back and emote next to Daenerys and her Targaryen banners on which the dragons now have 2 extra legs for whatever reason. In the Godswood, Littlefinger prematurely reveals all his cards to Sansa to absolutely no benefit in particular.
Every time I'm faced with a decision, I close my eyes and see the same picture. A picture of me on the Iron Throne. And you by my side.
It's a pretty picture.
He sold you into sexual slavery! Get away from him! Then Bran and Meera get dropped off at the wall, but not really.
Are you sure you're ready for this?
I have to be ready for this.
And it's another pointless vision. Aren't you starving or aching to sleep in a bed again?
Who should the North rally behind? True-born daughter of Ned and Catelyn Stark, or a deserter from the Night's Watch?
No, get ready for some juicy intrigue.
The King of the North!
Oh, come on.
The King of the North! The King of the North!
Excuse me, is no one going to at least ask why they're crowning the Lord Commander of the flippin' Night's Watch?
Or a motherless bastard born in the South?
I don't care if he's a bastard.
Okay, fine, but other people might.
The Northern Lords are proud.
Shouldn't people take issue with Ned Stark's true-born daughter being overlooked for opportunity, if not pride?
Sansa Stark is the key to the North.
And if Littlefinger marries her, he'll have the key in his pocket.
Dude, you should be planting this idea left and right.
I'm a bit confused.
So much for chaos is a ladder, I guess.
He kind of forgot.
Do you think our friend got him? I don't know anything else that can melt a ram's horn.
It's just that horn doesn't melt. They can char and crack and vitrify, but not melt. Under even the hottest fire, you would still need to add chemicals and remove oxygen from the environment to melt the minerals in the bone, which interestingly melt at even higher temperatures than, say, iron. This woman is way too clean for someone who sleeps on the streets. While it could be argued that omitting Arthur Dayne's legendary Dawn in favor of 2 ordinary swords is a creative choice and not an error, the whole choreography of him spinning them around is super unrealistic and downright silly. Jaqen gets his own accent wrong and says me and I instead of a man like he usually does.
If a girl tells me her name, I will give her eyes back.
Last and definitely least,
The skulls of all the Targaryen dragons were kept in this room.
They used to decorate the throne room in the Red Keep.
but in the 9 frames of Bran's vision of Jaime killing Aerys, the dragon skulls are missing. What was your favorite era in Season 6? Leave me a comment, I always read them and it helps the channel grow. Click the buttons, join the Discord, and as always, thank you for watching.